Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage my surrogate mother, Yusef Mustafa.
Oh, the friends that we make.
Thank you. How was everyone's interval? Wasn't it good? Yeah, good. You're being Larry, really Larry, Tim. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if you know how this works. This isn't a one-way conversation. Like, you know, when I'd say, "How's your interval?" Everyone cheers. Like, but I mean, did you have a good interval? What are you drinking? What did you get? How's that working out for you? Is it good? Tasty. Good. Nothing funny about that. I was going to try and take the piss out of you, but I mean, I can't do anything with that. How's the rest of you? Yeah, everyone else have a good interval. Is it good? Well, just going to do a little dance there. Ignore that. Didn't happen. We'll edit that out. Don't worry. No, I'm going to get on and introduce our next guest. Tim, do you want to do the honours again? Yeah. All right, give me 1 second. Hang on, not yet, dude. But good, you prepped. Right. No, my final guest, he's a very, very funny man. He is fast rising on the circuit. He's appeared on Stuart Lee's Alternative Comedy Experience, Live at the Comedy Store, and BBC Radio 4's A Now show. He's actually doing a show tonight at 7:45 p.m. at the Cookie. It's called Ruminations on the Nature of Subjectivity. So when this show's over, go and see that because it is very good. Tim, you ready? Yep. Start clapping and cheering. Woo! Please welcome Nish Kumar.
Ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. I feel like I've ruined the mystique of my entrance because I've just been sat in the corner there the entire... She just sat there, and now everyone has to be like, oh, who is it gonna be? Whoa, this guy? Oh, what a surprise.
Well, I mean... that was a hell of an entrance, by the way.
Yeah.
To us, you were kind of dressed...
I'm very good at capturing the mood of a room. And the mood of this room is, this man is not famous enough.
Not famous enough, but I have my own show named after me, so...
Yeah, which I named. Very easy to have a show named after you if you name it yourself. That's one of the things I'm increasingly
Yeah, it's true.
finding.
Hey, congratulations, by the way, because I don't know if anyone else knows this. Hot off the presses, as of last Friday, you are hosting the next series of BBC Radio 4's Newsjack.
Yes, that is true, yeah. Oh, thanks.
I'm really happy about it. It was so well timed because is this like an exclusive? This is the first time we've publicly like talked about it. Obviously, bar like
yes, this is the first time I've publicly talked about it. I don't know what I was expecting you to say because like I know the events that have happened in my life, and yet when you were like last Friday, I was like, what's happened? What have I been accused of? It's weird because they announced it like on Friday, but it's something that had been confirmed a couple of weeks before, and they were like, want to save it up for the big announcement, and I was like, you are building this up too far. Hey guys, Nish Kumar's hosting our show. Who? It was announced last Friday. This is the first time. Yeah, so it's I'm hosting Newsjack. That'll start the last week of February, and it's an open submission show. So it's a topical Radio 4 extra show, and anybody can send sketches in. So it's a way, like, if you want to start being a comedy writer, you can just send in a sketch, and someone at the BBC has to read it. So they are leaving themselves open to a lot of weird requests.
How much did you do it before, if you did it at all, before you were announced as a host? Have you done it a lot before?
No, I've actually I'm a new host. This is a new job for me. I've done stuff stand-up stuff on Radio 4 shows, and I just went in and did an audition, and they offered me the job. And I'm trying to skirt around the issue of going, I've never done anything like this before, because I don't want to send the wrong message out, but I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing. We had a producers meeting yesterday, and I was like, you guys are better be really good at your job, because I have no idea what's going on.
You're aware this is being filmed as well? Like, it's not just the people in this room that are going to see this.
Oh, well,
let me take this opportunity.
Let me take this opportunity to say it was a great run while it lasted.
No, congrats. Although, so I was doing a bit of research, bit of prep, because that's what I have to do for this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be a very awkward half an hour.
Yeah.
But
we can arrange that to happen anyway. That's very well within our powers at this point.
No, but in the research, I was looking at videos on YouTube, and there was the one I interviewed you last year.
That's right.
At the Y Theatre, and at the end of it, I noticed something. I forgot that I said, which was. I said, what's the rest of your whole for you? You said, yeah, I don't know, and the other. And I said, are you coming back to Leicester next year? And you said, I don't know if anyone will have me. And then I actually said, well, if no one invites you back, I'll bring you back myself. You thought I was joking.
Yeah, I really did, yeah. I'd forgotten that we had that conversation. Yeah. Well, you are a man of your word, Yusef.
1 year later. That is on YouTube. I did say you can go and find that.
Yeah. Great. Here we are.
Now, how many times have you done Leicester? Obviously, I know it's your second time, but how many times have you done it? It's at least your second time, anyway.
Yeah. No, I've actually done it. My first one was 2012. So 12, 13. And did I do it? Yeah, I did do it last year. Of course I did. That's where we met. Yeah. So I did it last year. This is my fourth year on the trot. Yeah. I did, but like the first year, I did a work in progress of my first show, and I literally just came up. It was the Belmont Hotel, so I just got off the train 5 minutes before I was supposed to be there, went to the Belmont Hotel, then got on the train 5 minutes after the show finished, and immediately left. And also, that gig at the Belmont Hotel, I was so shit as well. Like, it was really weird. It was the first time I'd ever done an hour before, and I was, it's February this year, so it was then the show that I was going to do in Edinburgh that year, and my agent came with me. And on the train home, I was like, we need to cancel Edinburgh because I was so bad. And the comedian David Trent actually has a recording of that show, which occasionally he threatens to send me because I really, it was the first time I'd ever done an hour. And I was so shit. I cannot emphasize how bad I was.
Wait, so it was actually the whole first hour you've done, not just, your first time you did an hour outside of London, was actually the
No, it was the first time, first performance of that show. It was called Who is Nish Kumar? And I was so bad and I died so hard. And so for the rest of the year, I was like, fuck Leicester. It was obviously Leicester's fault. And it's weird for me because I sort of half grew up in Leicester because my grandparents used to live here. So I've been coming here, I had all my birthdays here, and they used to live now around on sort of Rushingmead side. So Leicester is a really important place for me, and I was like, this feels like fate that I would do my first hour show in Leicester. What a thing, the universe has conspired. And then I came here and I was like, the universe hates me. I hate Leicester. I'm going to kill myself. That was, so then the next year I came back with that show. And did that show and a work in progress show and spent a whole weekend here and had the best time ever because Leicester is a really fun festival. And so now after that I was like, right, I need to block out a weekend, come and do Leicester and have a really good time. Yeah. And that show, it's weird to bring this up and it's kind of a dick move, but here I am, I'm saying it, and as I'm saying it, realising it's a dick move. I did that show again, and it was nominated for Best Show at the festival, and I was like, I've exorcised the demon of that gig. I've exorcised the demon of the Belmont Hotel gig. And so I felt really good about it.
Have you been to any other gigs at Belmont Hotel? Because
yeah, I've done a couple of gigs at the Belmont Hotel.
Oh, wait, you went back?
Yeah, I went back, man.
Whoa,
that's how you do it. You got to exorcise the demon. I went back and did another work in progress. So that year I did two work in progress shows, and last year I can't remember what I did last year. I think last year I did my 2013 Edinburgh show, and then just did a bunch of gigs. And Leicester at the weekends, it's amazing because in the week the shows are always really nice and then at the weekend the shows are always really nice and then it gets weird because then you start doing those late night shows. If you're around on Saturday night, I would risk one or two of the late night shows because things get really fucked up because everyone has done their show, so a lot of the time the comedians will be drunk. You will see some people saying some pretty libelous things on a Saturday night, a late show at the Leicester Festival, especially if you go to there's one of these hotels around here that they do the show in the lobby. It gets really strange. I've seen Paul Curry just run around covered in toilet paper, as part of his act, presumably.
Do you know, that reminded me, last year, I think before we met at the Y, you were at a gig, The Cookie.
Yeah.
And that was a late night gig.
Yeah, that was a late night gig.
You remember it?
Yeah, I remember it well. I was telling half the audience that they were too stupid to enjoy my act, and that the other half that they should always come and see me, and the rest of these people were possible racists. So yeah, this is what I mean. It gets weird. This is the great thing. You can go and see a comedian do their hour show and go and then see them when they are off the clock at one of the late shows. That is the fun of comedy festivals.
Did you manage to see Mark Olver on the same night, in the same venue?
Yeah, Olver was emceeing.
Yeah, was he emceeing?
Was he emceeing?
No, he wasn't emceeing. He came up and he basically got Joey Page was emceeing.
That's right. Yes, yeah.
And then he came on stage, and then when Joey Page said, "Oh, he was supposed to meet up this morning and he bailed," then Oliver came on stage and just went, "Yeah, it's because I have a diarrhea and I was in bed. Well, not in bed all morning, but I was somewhere else." And then just proceeded to shout at a man who heckled him for 15 minutes and talk about his diarrhea.
Go to a late night gig. You are not going to see Mark Olver do that at his, thoughtfully written solo shows or his Dancing with Architecture interview show. But at a late night gig, you will see him describe his bowel problems. That's the fun of Comedy Festival. It really is.
Are you only in Leicester today then, just to do
Well,
the show?
no, I'm here today, so I'm doing this. Then I'm going to do my show, 7:45 at the Cookie. Please come. And then I'm back here in a week and a half because I'm supporting Milton Jones on his tour, and I'm back. We're here. We're doing De Montfort Hall. And I do not feel the need to plug that because Milton Jones is not like, Nish, can you let the people know about this gig? Because I am not very famous. So I'm really excited to do De Montfort Hall.
Yeah. Well, I've got there's a really good joke you wrote. I don't know if it's in your current show now, but it's a joke about being ethnically ambiguous. The reason that's one of my favorite jokes of yours is because I can really relate to it because no one knows where I'm from.
Yeah. You've got that sort of pan-Asiatic Arab Spanish face, like that. It's that sort of face. You look at it and you go, maybe.
Well, where do you think I'm from?
Well, I feel like your name is really giving the game away. Like, in terms of, because are you Arab?
No.
Oh, wow.
Ah, see?
Racist. Who'd have thought? Yusef Mustafa?
No.
I would have thought it was Arab.
Most people do, and that's where it throws them.
Yeah, right, okay.
No, I'm actually...
You look kind of Spanish.
Yeah, well, thank you. A lot of people said this. As Spanish, as Italian. The worst guess I ever had was Australian. I was like, yeah, you can tell by my heavy Aussie accent.
My worst is Brazilian. That's the worst one. Although, the thing is, sometimes when my beard grows long and my hair grows long, I do look like the early 80s Brazilian footballer Socrates. And that is something I take as a point of pride. Socrates was an incredible footballer.
Is it? But it's genuinely a problem that happens in your sort of day-to-day life and on stage and stuff.
It's not usually a problem. It just means that I'm sort of doing old material now, but it does mean that because I'm mainly confused for being an Arab chap by other Arab chaps, and they will very often come up and start speaking to me in Arabic, and I just have to be like. And so you look like the shittest Arab in the world, like. And if people are going to think I'm an Arab, I want them to think I'm a good Arab. Like that's the thing. It's not really a problem. I mean, other than the fact that I've been racially abused for every race under the sun, including someone who called me chinky. So, 100% true. 100% true. Somebody called me chinky. The N-word, that's been used on me. That's a few times. And the only reason it's a problem is, you're like, if you're going to be racist, at least be accurate.
No, because your comedy, obviously, you address race and all the stuff in your comedy and in your set. Is there any audiences that have kind of heckled you just because of your ethnicity?
No, I've never had that. No,
really?
No. I would argue almost sometimes I have the opposite problem, where sometimes when you go to a sort of more rural parts of outside of a city, you sometimes get people really tense when you mention race, but only because they're like, we're not racist. Because I think there's two levels of prejudice going on. I think they're worried that I think they're racist, and I'm worried that they're racist. So they are in that regard correct. But there's a general sort of just an anxiety in the room, which only comes from them, all of us, wondering to what extent each other is sort of, it's that sort of general, it's just too many people with good intentions locked in a room, and if you do that, eventually somebody is going to say something racist.
So has anyone have you died at a gig just because of that? Then
no, I would not be. No, I have died at many gigs, but my race has never been the root cause. I don't need my race to tank a comedy gig. I am perfectly capable of doing that on my own merits.
Nish Kumar, he kills gigs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, you're probably sick of hearing this, and you'll probably know what is about to come. But for the people in the audience, they don't know this. It's going to be hilarious. I shouldn't have said that. I've built up too much expectation.
Yeah,
now.
Never do that.
No.
I like to start my shows by going, lower your expectations.
Yeah. No, but your race has led to, when you started out, a couple of years ago, it has led to a few problems.
I know what you're going to do. These are going to be the memes. These are the memes.
Nish, you're an internet, or at least you were an internet sensation.
So here's the full story. A publicity shot that I was taken off me in 2012 became an internet meme. Now, if you don't know what that is, you are in the position I was in when I found out I had become one. Because it's like these things where people take stock photos and then put captions on them according to a theme. And so I found out about this because my friend emailed me saying, oh, haha, very funny. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he sent me a link to quickmeme.com. And I clicked on the link, and it turns out I'm a meme called the Confused Muslim. If you go and Google that, if you go to quickmeme.com and search Confused Muslim, it's my fucking face.
Should we take a look at some?
Yeah, have
then?
you got some there?
Yeah, I've got my 3 favourites. So
That's
we've got
the original one. The first
yeah, do you want
one.
to take that?
This is the original one. So angry that Christians insulted my prophet, cannot insult Jesus as he is a prophet too. So that is the first thing I saw. So I opened this email, and this is what's staring back at me. Imagine if that was your face. Like, what would you do? It was baffling.
Well, the thing is, because I thought, because you talked about it in your set, we probably got rid of that. No, because when I went to go get these, Confused Muslim, first result, it's still on there.
Yeah, first result, it's still on there. Like, I've talked about it I wrote a whole show about it. So my 2013 show, which was called Nish Kumar as a Comedian, was all about that meme, essentially. And we found out, it's basically what had happened was, in a previous show, I described myself as one of the few people who is regularly confused being both a Jew and a Muslim. They reprinted that quote verbatim, so now when you Google Confused Muslim, my fucking face appears, right? So that's how they'd ended up landing on the image. So there's loads of them.
I've only got my 3 favourite. Here's another one. Angry that Christians insulted my prophet, OMA, Oh My Allah.
That, I really like that one. I really like that one. Because a lot of the rest of them, there is a nasty undercurrent of Islamophobia. And when I say undercurrent, what I really mean is full current. A lot of them have a really, unpleasant, that's the weird thing. When it's your face, you're like, what I don't want is for a Muslim person to see that and be like, oh, looks like Nish Kumar's an Islamophobe. Because that's how that was one of the series, like it says, this lady's absolutely livid. She's clearly I thought you were an Islamophobe. I'm incredibly offended. But yeah, so that was the concern. But what I liked OMA because it's quite a sweet joke. I actually like that one.
Then it started to get a bit weird because the last one, I don't know, that doesn't mean anything. There was angry that Christians insulted my prophets, and then I got an erection next to my dad.
Right. Okay, here's the thing.
There you go.
So, let me explain this to you. Let me explain to you what happened. Okay, so after that meme, after I reposted that meme on my Facebook and Twitter, what my friends decided to do, instead of being like, Nish, this is so sad that this has happened to you, they all started just putting stuff on the internet, slagging me off. So there's one which is like, Nish, you owe me £5. One of my friends was like, oh, this is a comedian called Nish Kumar, he is funny. Another one was like, Nish, you're a fucking idiot. And then this is actually, this is the weirdest one, because this is a reference to a piece of material that I did about how I went to see the film Shame with my dad. Yeah, exactly, yeah. By all means, that material is available on YouTube, so you can go look it up. It's very funny. But that's what that material is. I admit, when you don't have all of that information, this is alarming. This is genuinely unfathomable as to why someone would have done this. But now that you know that, it's still kind of weird, but
yeah, it was. I mainly wanted that one explaining.
It's somebody making reference to something that I'd previously done. But I mean, I wonder what I'm slightly obsessed because I still don't know who made this meme, and I'm slightly obsessed by what they must think when they see. Then I got an erection next to my dad. It's like, is that slagging off Muslims? I don't know. Is that a thing? But yeah, so yeah, I'm a meme.
I mean, I just would have thought that even after you did a whole show on it, this person would have at least come forward and gone, "Hi Nish, it was me."
Yeah, but I think we're all slightly overestimating my appeal and reach. That's yeah. I'm not. So I have no idea how to contact. Because there's no email address available or anything. So I have no idea.
Did it benefit your career in any way? Did someone recognise you from it?
I got a fucking hour-long show out of it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It was sweet. In fact, one of the first things my friend Jim Campbell, who's a very funny comedian, so the first thing somebody commented, "What the hell is this?" when I posted it on my Facebook, and the second comment was Jim Campbell, and I seem to remember him writing something like, "The internet is writing your Edinburgh shows for you," and I was like, "No, Jim, that's not true." And in the back of my head, I was thinking, "Yeah, it's really true. That this could not have worked out any better for me."
Yeah, go to sort of your previous two shows because Ruminations is your third show. The previous two shows was it Nish Kumar? No, who is Nish Kumar?
Who is Nish Kumar?
Then Nish Kumar is a comedian. Which one was the meme about then? Nish Kumar
is a comedian. Yeah, because the sort of end of that show was basically me. Trying to the whole conceit of the show was I was trying to work out why I was so offended, because I was offended but not because they thought I was a Muslim, because that's nothing offensive about that. And so the whole end of the show is really I was offended because they didn't recognize me, and that so I called the show Nish Kumar is a comedian. So now when you Google my name, that's the first thing that appears. So that was why it was.
So they weren't intended to be linked, like.
They totally were. Yeah,
because it's like a really delayed question and answer, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then I thought in my head, I was like, maybe every other year I'll do a question and then an answer. And then I thought that's going to end up with me having to do a show called Whence Nish Kumar, because there are only a certain number of question words that you can muster. So I abandoned that as a possible recurring conceit.
Yeah, because your third show, Ruminations on the Nature of Subjectivity, which I'm very impressed I said first time right.
I'm impressed. You're the first person who's persisted with it for this long, because most people say it the first time and then start going, whatever fucking pretentious shit you've decided to call it. Yeah.
It is it's a wildly different title. Is it content and kind of thematically wise different to the first two shows?
No, I hope it's better. I mean, I hope it's better. I think it's better.
Yeah, there is kind of a hope.
I think it's better. It was the reason it's got that stupid title is because, we did a bunch of publicity photos, and the photographer who does all my photos is Idil Sukan's a great photographer. She's a very diligent professional, and I am this. So she asks me to do stuff, and I'll be like, and she'll go, "Can you please, we need to do this before the sun sets because it's really concerning me." And so she tried to get me to do a serious pose, and I did this. So there's a picture of me on the internet doing this, and she decided to see that joke and then raise it by making it black and white, so it looks like a really arty picture. So when we got it, I was like, that is a great photo, but the only way I'm going to use that as a poster is if I give the show a really pretentious sounding title. So we did that, and the poster looks great, and what I've now realised is the poster is not printed in enough places, and so now I am left with a title that makes me sound like a bit of a twerp. But the show is about subjectivity and opinion, so it is relevant in that case. That's the most. I didn't say anything.
That was the most she had an excuse. I'm very sorry, you're very funny.
Really took her side very quickly. We knew what you were thinking.
No, but Ruminations, does that title ever, does it actually stop people lads coming to your gig? I don't know why I did that.
I think it probably did.
Sorry. I was just going to go lads, but I kind of went all for it there. But
I'd kind of like to see that again. I think it did. I'd done the show 30 times in Edinburgh and another 15, 20 times outside, and I've not had any problems. It would be a foolhardy stag do that would turn up and think Ruminations on the Nature of Subjectivity, this will go perfectly as a palate cleanser for our evening in the strip club. And palate cleanser as a phrase gives you some idea of what I think goes on at stag do. So it probably tells you more about me than it is about them. But I think it has sort of helped. But yeah, I think so.
I mean, the words palate cleanser and strip club in the same sentence is very just brings up some very
Palate
vivid
Cleanser sounds
imagery.
like a very classy strip club. If there was one, if there was a strip club called Palate Cleanser, you'd be like, well, that maybe is a little cleaner than places I've been to.
No, but you just did the show at the Soho Theatre all throughout January and February, and is it you recorded your DVD there? Was it your first live DVD?
Yeah. It's comedy's least anticipated DVD release. We filmed. I'm sure I can talk about this now. I'll tell you if we need to delete this. Kay. You people will just know it. But I don't know. There's no reason why there's a problem. So the Soho Theatre is a theatre in London where lots of people do their Edinburgh shows. and they're actually now, they filmed me and a sketch act called the Pajama Men, who, if you haven't seen, are absolutely amazing. They filmed our shows in the basement, and the Soho are going to release them, and so that's going to be available as a hard copy DVD, but also I think you're going to be able to buy it off their website as like digital download. So we did that on the 1st of February. I filmed 2 shows, and we're in the process of editing that, and I would love to undercut it, but it's literally the most exciting thing that's ever happened in my career. Like, it really is. Like, I can't believe I got to, like, there were like cameras and a sound crew, and there was a director. It was mental, but it was really good fun. So the show will be available. But you should also come and see it tonight at the Crumbling Cookie, because I realise now I'm sort of doing myself out of an audience, because it's like, well, we'll just wait for the DVD.
Just do all the old material tonight. Don't do anything from the new show later on.
Oh yeah, that's true. That would be a big play. Just turn up to tonight and just be like, listen guys, I'm just going to riff this because we really need the DVD sales.
No, before you go, we've got about 5-10 minutes before you have to head off.
Sure.
There is a fantastic story. You told me this last year involving Sean Connery. Now, for the good people of Leicester, please just tell the story again.
Yeah.
Did you remember? You know the one, don't you?
Yeah. I have only one Sean Connery story.
Me and Sir Sean, we go way back.
I'm walking around collecting Connery anecdotes, you know. I wish I moved in those circles.
No, but just if you could tell us the Sean Connery story, because it is amazing. It's
the first year I went to Edinburgh was 2006, and I was doing a student sketch group, and we were flying on the Royal Mile. Edinburgh, when you do student sketch stuff, it's very much like a sort of cottage industry where everyone just does everything, and you sort of write the show and perform the show, and then you also sort of have to fly the show. And we were flying, and this group of people walked past us, and I didn't really see what was going on. And then my friend went, "Oh shit, I think that was Sean Connery." And we sort of looked at it, and you were like, I mean, if it isn't Sean Connery, that is his exact back double. And my friend had the presence of mind in that moment. The rest of us were all sort of frozen, and my friend went, "Would you like to see some sketch comedy, Sean?" And he sort of kept walking, and we were like, "I didn't hear us." And then he just turned around and went, "Sorry, boys, I've got to catch a plane." And just kept walking. And you were like, that's the perfect 007 anecdote. Like that.
It's amazing, isn't it?
He couldn't have said anything more James Bond. The only way that could have been more James Bond is if the turret of Edinburgh Castle had opened half an hour later and Sean Connery had flown out in his own plane.
Because, I mean, and sort of kind of linking to that, another little James Bond thing. I noticed on your Twitter a while back, you tweeted a picture of your search history after the whole Idris Elba potentially being cast as James Bond came out, and it just said Nish Kumar, James Bond, simply with a hashtag optimism. So I imagine you were probably quite upset that you weren't cast as James
hoping
Bond.
to be considered. I don't really know anyone involved, but I'm sort of putting out a lot of good thoughts. And if there is anyone who knows any of the Broccoli family, by all means, give them my CV. I have quite a limited range of accents, but that's not historically been a problem for James Bond. And, all I'm saying is, in this modern world, if you want to keep James Bond a relevant spy, who does he look like? Fucking Aryan Daniel Craig or Zero Dark 30 over here. Like, that's all. Well, that's all I'm saying. I think I would have more value in the spying community currently.
Well, I've got something for you just before you go. Take this with you on tour, wherever you want to do.
Okay,
It may help you in future castings for James Bond.
Yeah.
Pete, lovely Pete over here behind us, he decided on my request to knock up what it might look like if you were James Bond. So we've got two versions. We've got classic James Bond, 00 Kumar, sporting a lovely turtleneck there. This is kind of a classic era look for you.
That's a classic. That's more a Daniel Craig look.
Well, if you want to take that, the second.
Are these really for me?
Well, you'll find out in a second. The second is Daniel. A modern era. Very modern era Daniel Craig, Agent Kumar type of thing. So what I thought we could do, the audience, if you give us a cheer for which one you prefer, and whichever one you prefer, you can take with you as a gift for, or a memento for today.
Such a nice present.
Okay. Well, I thought, give us a cheer if you like modern Danish Kumar. I almost don't want to do that one, but give us a cheer if you want to take the classic Kumar. I think that was a latter, wasn't it?
I think it was classic Kumar, yeah. The thing I'm increasingly realising in horror is because I have such a constant sense of guilt about everything, I feel so touched by this present, I will feel obliged to display it in my house. And what I'm slowly realising is this is going to require some explanation. When people come in, it's just like this picture of me on the wall. Everyone's going to go, has Nish lost his fucking mind? Why has he just photoshopped his own... crudely photoshopped his face over the top of Daniel. Listen, if somebody murders Daniel Craig and they find this, I am going to be suspect number one.
Well, I mean, how do you think I felt? It's just been in my bedroom for like 2 weeks. What the fuck is that? I'm like, isn't he in your show? Maybe we should tell him not to come. This is worrying.
Is that really for me?
Yeah, that's for you.
So nice of you. Thank you very much.
No problem. Well, all the best show tonight. Ruminations on nature subjectivity. Invitation hasn't said it enough. 7:45 at the Cookie tonight. Nish, thank you very much. Oh, and Nish Kumar.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much, man. Thank you.
Well, that's the show, really. That's all we've got time for. Before we go, just got to thank, obviously, Pete. I'm going to give Pete doing all the tech. And Pete also did all the promotional flyers and everything, so he wants you to know he is available for hire if anyone wants him to design your next event. What was that? You know what? I'm going to skirt over it. It's fine. No, thank you, Team TV as well, for coming to film it. Izzy as well, because she put me moaning for about 3 months about this. And thank you all, most importantly, thank you very much for coming. And thank you to Matt and Nish for coming along as well. This has been Mustafa Chat. I'm Yusef Mustafa. I'll see you later.
That's right, I choose.